Welcome to the session, guys. There are three things I would like to briefly scan through. We have already looked at them if you are looking at the recordings. First is the role of teams in change management. We would like to talk about that. Then role of leadership, and then the role of culture. Respectively, these are chapter 2, chapter 4, and chapter 7. So recordings are already posted. I hope you have or you will find some time to watch them. But there are some PowerPoints also in the course. So I thought let's scan through them quickly and maybe talk about something which I might not have discussed in the recordings earlier. So that is the purpose of today's live engagement. So first, let's look at role of team. That is chapter number 2, and I can show you from the RVLE page where it is exactly. So if you will look at for 22nd of September here, 22nd of September, this is chapter 2, team change, and this is the clip which you must have seen. You might want to watch it again before final exams. So let's see what they have in the slide. So essentially, they want to understand that many times in organizations, people would not be working alone. They would be working with other people in teams, that type of. So when an organization is going through a change, what is the significance of or importance of teams and those type of things? So please reflect on that and maybe come in with your own pointers. What do you think that when you are working in teams, even if you are not working in any formal um, organization, even in your coursework, for example, you work in teams, and you can think about that. Like now you are in virtual environment, so online, you have to collaborate online, working for your projects, and sometimes you are not doing it alone. It's not individual, it is some type of group work. You have to engage with people in online environment. Different people would have different schedules, although we are in the same country. Yes, this can be problematic. For example, if the people are working across from different countries. Yeah, so see these type of issues, for example, internet connectivity, that can be a challenge. Yeah, you can do a couple of things that, but uh, not much. So these type of uh, you should reflect on, like, what are some of the challenges you are facing as you work in online teams, because they are saying that the future of work, maybe more and more work would be go online, and e-commerce is also already there. The biggest business in the world, most successful, Amazon, that is run on online environment, if you think about that. So these are some of the things which I would say that you should think about, and like if you can make some comments. Otherwise it is pretty straightforward. The distinction between what is a group, what is a team, should reflect on that. For example, this one, basic characteristics of team. Yeah. So interaction, I briefly spoke about that, like how they will interact, the timing, and maybe language barrier can be there. Interdependence, this is very interesting point again, like what are the skills which are available with the different team players, or who is good in what. And you might be based on how the work is allocated, you might be dependent on some other member, and then you have to engage with them, and maybe let's say that you are someone who works on your own initiative, and you work fast, and you don't like delaying the thing, and there are some other group members who maybe do their job and do it very well, but they kind of procrastinate and wait for the last moment, that type of thing. So those type of things in characteristics you can think. There are few different types of teams, but there are many other forms also. You can run a Google. For example, I spoke about virtual team, online team. Uh, but we would want to spend some time on maybe change teams, like when you are going through change your organization or whatever it is, what should be some of the characteristics of that team, who will be or is going to, or who is going to lead the change, or who will maybe support the change. A team which has something to do with change management, what should be some of the characteristics of that team, those type of things. Please think about that. I will ask you to participate and maybe give your thoughts. Yeah, self managed teams, this I like this one, because if you really want to excel in anything in life, you are better off if you can manage yourself well. Like, you work on your own initiative, you are internally driven. It is not that other people are asking you to do the things. You want to do them because you know their importance, or you are not working just for the sake of work. You are working because you are enjoying it. Like, for example, right now you guys are here, I am here, we are going through few slides. Are you enjoying it, or why are you here? You are here because you have to, or you are here because you wanted to come and you want maybe participate in discussion or something like that. So same concept is with self-managed teams, because your organization is, yes, they are going to give you the objectives and tasks and whatever they have in their mind to reach the objective and so on. But there might be some other things which you think are important to do, or you think that in the longer run they would be beneficial for the project. So you take initiative, and although they have not asked you to do that, but you go overboard with what is asked. But then again, that is linked with other things also. Like, you might do something extra, but your manager might not like it. There are some people who, like, they might say you are trying to be over smart or something like that, or they might think that you are trying to dominate the teams, and you are trying to uh, you have some hidden agenda, or you whatever it is. Because the because not everyone is motivated to do their jobs. Very few people are really motivated, and they really want to do their job. So in that context, you can think about this self-managed teams, and what is the importance of having people who can self-manage, who can work on their own initiative, and so on. Project teams, for example, um, different projects would be allocated in the organization, and based on the skill set, the higher ups are going to form the teams to deal with some projects. That coursework example is you can think about that. Virtual teams, I spoke about that. That is quite. You should think. You should hone your skills, like these courseworks and all these things which are part of your degree. you can also think about them as a step towards preparing for your work when and if your work requires to engage in virtual teams. You can use this experience, like, you know uh, uh, what did you learn, what are some of the obstacles in engaging in virtual teams. Like, there are different things in this. I'm not just talking about like these simple issues. They are not simple, but most of the people would say that internet is the problem, and connectivity, and having the right devices. Those are the problems, but there are so many other things also. uh, like, for example, uh, simple things like when you would be engaging with the virtual teams, are they going to open their cameras or not? Because, like, if people open their camera, the connectivity obviously increases, because you can see the person, what they are doing, and you kind of get engaged if it is both sides. Yeah. uh, but if you are working on some some teams, and people are not turning their cameras, and you have to discuss things, or it is not that you cannot do that. Of course you can do that, and depending on the policy of the organization, maybe it is not compulsory to turn on the cameras and stuff. But then uh, it it impacts the link, which generally we would develop, like when we were before COVID times. We were engaging in an face-to-face environment. I could see you, you could see me, you could see my body language, I could see yours, and that definitely helps. And but that thing is missing in this environment. So I'm not talking about these classes. I'm talking about, like, in the real work, what are some of the things you can do. So maybe one thing you can, as you are formulating the policy, you can say that, okay, maybe we should make it compulsory for people to turn on their cameras. Yeah. But then if you make it compulsory, how people will react to that? Because maybe they are working from home, and they maybe don't have a nice place to sit or something like that. They don't want to show their wherever they are sitting, or so many things are there. um, um, so you have to think about these things, these type of things. um, Change teams. Yes, this is what I was saying. I would like to ask you, maybe ask you guys, what do you think? Like, a team uh, a team which is a team which is going through change, who is not going through change, an organization which is going through change, and to manage that change, if they form any change teams, what are some of the characteristics which they should have? What do you think? I would like if someone can make a comment or two on that. uh, mm, Openness to change, for example, that is one thing. They should not be rigid in ways they want to do things. That can be one. You can think about that, openness to change. um, Listening, for example, listening. Many times we are not, like, are you really listening to what I'm saying, or you are just there and maybe doing some other things and whatever? Is are Like, are you really listening to, like, or you are thinking what is happening in your head? You can do that right now, that exercise. You don't have to tell me or anyone, just yourself. You can do it. Like, for the last 15 minutes, I have been speaking. So are you listening, really listening, and thinking about what I'm trying to say, and trying to maybe understand, or read between the lines? Because uh, trying to really understand what I'm trying to say, not just the words, and reflecting with your own experience. Those type of things you are doing, or you are just sitting there and just, so so, so this would happen, if you are in a team and everyone would have their own agenda, would be part of the for different reasons. Uh, very in the team, it is not just about listening. It is about sharing your, because if only one person is speaking, yes. So I was saying, if only one person is speaking and other saying, that it is not a team. It is maybe just uh, like in the team. Why do we have a team? So that different people from different backgrounds can come and share their ideas, share their thoughts, share their, because all of our experiences, yeah, all of us are coming, and then see what is the best way to move forward. Yeah, this you are very change, forming, storming. You can think about these things when we are speaking about this while doing while doing chapter 2, which I just showed you a while ago. I spoke about these things, MBTI. You guys were saying that you have, I think you have taken these type of tests and so on. So please reflect on this. So I just wanted to go through slides. And again, this is 22nd of September, chapter 2, team changes. It is discussed in detail in this clip. In your own time, you can go back to that and watch it. I just wanted to go through the slides to see if there is anything worth talking. So these are some of the things which you can think about. Uh, teams teams very important for um, for for leading change, or for managing change, or making the transition easy for the organization. They should have people from uh, different skill set, which is needed. So it is not that you would just include anyone and everyone in a um, in a team. You have to be very mindful about that. Other things are there also, many other things. Um, for example, um, you might want to think about how people engage in that organization. For example, you want to have people in a team which can work in harmony, and don't like, there should be some ability between team members, and support mindset. Well, they are professional people, they would do the task, but if the likability is there, then things become easy. So you would have to be mindful of organizational politics, which is everywhere. Even people who say that there is no politics or anything, politics is everywhere. What is politics? Likability of people. You like some people, you like other people for different reasons. That is how we live. That is how we form our friendships and everything, based on likability. So you have to be mindful about that. That should not be the case, however. People should work professionally and do their job and whatever. But I'm saying that if uh, people who are in a team, they have some type of likability and they work in harmony and they are they have developed some type of friendship over a period of time, as while working in the organization, that can help. So you would want to use that maybe. But then everything has its positives and negatives. So for example, if you have a team of 7 people and you have like 3 friends in that team, or 3 people who like each other and support each other, then the decisions are going to be, kind of uh, 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 those people who are like friends, they might just support each other's ideas without really thinking. Uh, on the other hand, if people dislike each other, they might just bash someone's idea, even if it is a good idea, just for the sake, because they don't like them. These things are part of life. So we should not close our eyes and say no, people are professional and everything will be fine and they will just do their job and everything. You have to be mindful about these things. That is what I. If you have any thoughts on teams, or you want to discuss something, you can go ahead and speak about it. Um, Otherwise, let's look at the next slides, which I wanted to talk about. This is leadership and change. Again, I can show you that we discussed this on 6th of October uh, through pre-recorded session. So 6th of October. Chapter number 4 is leading change. So this is the clip which you might want to engage again. But I did not look at the slides at that time, so I thought. Actually, I was giving you guys time to go through these recordings, and then I said I will go through the slides one of the days, and today is that day. So leadership, yeah, number 4, leadership. So let's talk about that. Why do you think? Any thoughts on this? Why, if I ask you, what is the importance of leader in a change management? That type, someone asks you that question, just like that you have done courses on leadership, you have done course on change management. What is the importance of significance of having a leader? What is the leader can play in the success or failure, defeat of a change initiative? How would you respond to that? Any thoughts on that? If someone want to say something, that would be nice. Of course, you can go through these definitions. What is um, yeah, very good, Tamoya. To motivate the team. Tamoya is saying that uh, motivate motivate the. Yes, I'm kind of breaking up, so that is why I on and off. I turn off my videos, so maybe I don't pick up again. Yeah, so to motivate the team to reach its goal, I think that is a beautiful point, and I think that if someone if someone asks me personally, if I'm in some interview or something, and I have like 2-3 minutes to answer it, I think that is what I would say. That essentially, a leader's job is two things. I think I would say that they should be able to see um, other peoples cannot see right now. They should be able to forecast the future as accurately as possible. That is one thing, maybe. And second thing is, if they can forecast, their ultimate job is to motivate people. Like people are they say things in a way that people want to do whatever they are saying. Their connection with people should be very strong. Uh, they should be very good public speakers. Their communication skills should be phenomenal, excellent, that type of thing. Because if you can motivate the people, then other issues will just go away. Like these issues which we were speaking about when we are talking about teams, all those issues. If people in the team are motivated, then no matter what happens, they are going to find some way because they're motivated. Their drive is high. They are linked with a purpose. They are passionate about doing the job. They just want to do it. So when we are motivated to do something, it is not that we don't face hurdles. We face hurdles in anything which is significant enough. We are going to face hurdles because we are motivated. We find some way to, or we don't give up easily. In other words, when you are motivated, you don't give up very easily because your motivation is high. So as a very good point, I love the point that, as a leader, fundamental job, see what the future, and then motivate your people uh, to to do whatever you want them. If you can do that, then you don't have to micromanage them or watch every day what they are doing or whatever. Yes, you should look at what they are doing every now and then, but best human resources which is motivated in doing their job. Very good point. Not bad. So these things you can look in your own time. What is the difference between leaders and managers? What are some of uh, like, for example, if I ask you that, what makes a manager a leader? So these are the things which you guys mentioned. You are saying motivated, inspire. See, this is a person who can motivate, that has the potential, charismatic, uh, likability. People like them. Um, those type of these things. For example, passion. They have to do. They are not doing it just for a job. They are doing it because they want to. That makes all the difference. You just like in our life, you want to watch watch something, um watch some Netflix. No one has to tell you, did you watch Netflix today? Did you watch that show? No one has to tell you that. You are motivated to watch it, or anything like that. Those things which you so uh, I was thinking the other night that if people are not, like, for example, this is an environment, and if you are not interested in it right now, let's say that you are not interested, and you are just there and getting bored, and you are waiting when it will be 6 o'clock, and so I can finish. Whose fault is that? Is it your fault? Is it my fault? I was thinking about that. Yeah. So I was thinking that maybe it is not your fault. Maybe I am unable to excite you enough that you are to engage. Even if you are not speaking, opening up your mic, whose fault is? Yeah. Or maybe the process is not set in a way that it encourages you. Uh, because if we set some marks for speaking in course, of course you guys are going to um, and you can see that in the recordings which I have posted. They are from last semester. So in last semester I put some marks for class parts. This time I did not do it because I was going to use those recordings for you guys. Yeah, think about these things, how they are linked. And then the personality of the leader. I think that is also something which um, um, which you would want to think about. The personality and type of job, both things, because not all jobs require to be people centric. There are some jobs which do well as a lead, by working on your desk, and you don't have to give a lot of speeches, but it helps, as Tamoya was saying, motivation and those type of things can history and those type of things you would know that already from your earlier courses. This is a movie, Invictus. Not sure if you have seen that or can watch, or any movie, when you watch, just keep an eye that if there are some leaders, what are the things. So you are watching movie and having fun, and you are also learning leadership style and those styles. What are some of the characteristics of leaders, great speakers? Their presence, we spoke a while ago. Passion, clear vision. They have the they have the they are very clear about the objectives, what they want to achieve, those type of things. Passion, yeah. Commitment to the goal, commitment to the job, um, um, self-awareness, interactions, knowing yourself. If you remember week one, first session, you can watch the recording also, is there. Self-awareness is extremely which situations make you go, which situations make you sad, angry, which that is very important. Self-awareness, and a leader uh, should be. It is good if he or she is self-aware. Um, it is good because then they can control their emotions. Uh, in a in a in a in an intense environment, when they feel angry, they can reflect, and then they see within themselves that why are they feeling angry. That type of knowledge or understanding helps in minimizing the venting out of anger, because you know that these type of situations make you angry. So um, you can have a check and balance. But these things are very easy to say in this type of environment. When I'm talking and you guys are listening, in the real practical world, change is not, it's not something easy. So we have to be very well prepared, and you have to be very well motivated, and you should have the energy to go through that change. So many things has to come together for change to be successful. That is why we were saying, I think in the earlier sessions, one of the live sessions, we were saying that the success rate of change initiatives. I asked you guys, if you guys remember, in that live session, that run a Google search and find out how many change initiatives are successful in the world. So 70-80% of change initiatives, they fail, and these are the reasons. Different people you must have been reading as you are going through the book. Must be reading. For Cotter is some guy you cannot forget. Motivate people, for example, this is one thing which they are saying, that is one of the jobs. Passion, we spoke about these things. Yeah, if I ask you this, what is the real connection between change and leaders? How would you respond to this type of question if someone asks? Yeah, what is the relationship? How a leader can make or break? So you should think about that. Deep listening, we spoke about that a while ago. Deep listening, uh, listening, just listening and trying to understand uh, without judging or going beyond the stereotypes. Yeah. So let's say that you don't like Indian accent. Yeah, let's say that, and my accent is of course Indian. So uh, you because you don't like the accent, you whatever, even if I make a good comment, you will not take it home because of your disliking of the accent, for example. On the other hand, you like my accent, and even if I say something which is maybe not very correct, you will still give me room for that. Oh, maybe he meant that, and we do that in our life all the time. So these are stereotypes which we have. So you need to you need to try or aim to go beyond these stereotypes. Again, very easy to say these things in this format, very difficult to practice. But that is what we are talking about, an ideal leader and ideal situation. Yeah? So if and we that is where we should strive. So um, these are the things which I'm sharing with you guys, that if you would want to become a top leader, you would have to go beyond these things, uh, like the different races, black and white, and uh, religions, and uh, yes, try not to be subjective, but objective. Yes, maybe that is a good way to think about uh, your objective. That means should be very clear. This one, I like this one personally. You can think about that. And as looking at these slides, this is something which I just put in there, like a leader's job. We were talking a while ago about this. When Thamoya said that motivating people, that would be the leaders. And I was saying that looking for forecasting, looking how the work would be in next 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, what would be the future, and predicting it in the right way. That is the job of the. So this is the third point which I would if someone asks, and if I can remember, that hope. You are leading people. You need to. You can be strict with them. You can tell them whatever needs to be done. That is fine. You can sometimes you can be angry also, because things need to be done, and you have to show different types of personalities. But in all of that, you need to be mindful that you don't want to. You want to create their hope, like they are hopeful, they see some hope in it, they don't feel that everything is lost. That is, I think, another important aspect of leadership, based on my understanding. You guys don't have to agree with all these which these are just pointers. You need to think about these things in your own time and space and experience, what is important. So for me, I think that leaders should keep their workers hope, even in disaster. Something bad happens, something which was not supposed to happen. Yes, people will be sad, angry, frustrated, and you as a leader might be angry also, that why people did not take care of that. And yes, you, for a short period of time, you might vent out your anger, but you have to be mindful that you want to create some, that things become better. Things will, like you have seen these our national heroes and national leaders, like the Manleys and so on. You guys know about them in detail. They listen to their speeches. What are Jamaica will stand on its own feet. People will get jobs. We will get prosperity. All of those things. Yeah. What is that? That is they don't want to now say different. We are talking about leaders. Yeah. So they don't want to so strong that people and their moral leaders collapse. So you have to. In the long run, they would ensure that they might view, but in the long, you can do it. Terminology is there. So I think that is I would mention. So you should think about these things. If someone, why leader for, you should have your why you want to, you can get inspiration from book, our record, our friends are saying, but you should, if you are the leader, what are the top 3 things which you might want to do in a unit, and that it would be your own answer. And when you will give that answer to, and people will see that you really mean because that is coming with you. You really mean what is crammed. You mean it. Just like I'm sure when I'm saying that these are the three things which I hope that you you are thinking that I feel you can think about that. Leaders, female leaders in politics. Yes, I was. Yes, Anila. So I was saying that you should you should think about any leader which you like, national, international, and look at what they are doing and so on. Uh, I'm not trying to speak against Honorable President Trump, uh, but just for just some example is coming to my mind that he has lost elections, and he will not be the uh, maybe I don't know what would happen, but uh, what I read, he lost the election, and we'll have a uh, new president in US. So, but how he is reacting uh, in that situation when you lose, uh, not saying what is right thing to do and what is wrong to do. He is doing what he thinks is right. Everything has a .com. Yeah. So this is the cost of behaving. Someone has made this website and linked it to him. Yeah. So people, and then it's United States. People are watching them from all over the world. So everything would have a cost. So as a leader, you have to be mindful about these things. So these were some of the things I wanted to speak about leaders. Uh, if you want to say something or add to this conversation, leadership and change, you can. But again, just to remind you, 6th of October, chapter number 4, leading change. You can listen to the complete talk, and then maybe reflect on what we said today, and from your own understanding also you can think about this and try to make sense and form your own answers for the importance of uh, leader's role in change management. If you have something to say, you can talk. Otherwise, let's look at the last thing for today, which is culture. Yeah. So again, yesterday's postings, which is 10th of November. If you look at this, yesterday's posting, 10th of November, you have this chapter number 7, cultural change. Yeah. So please go through these 3 clips. I'm not sure if you have gone through them yet, because it was just yesterday, but you have time. So go through these. So these are in detail, but I want you to look at the slides also. So let's see. But as we're going to talk about this, please reflect on this. That why do you think, what is the significance of culture in change? Why do you think culture is important or not important? How it can support any type of change, and who create the culture. Culture is not something which is created overnight. Yes, some changes can happen in culture in overnight, but still the long lasting effects are made over a long period of time. Like you can think about, when we were speaking about it, we were talking about the culture of doing things in the University of the West Indies. You can think about the culture of doing things in what is culture? Culture is essentially the way of doing something, how things are done in an environment. That becomes the culture. If you have some work experience, you can reflect on that also, that what was the culture of your organization. For example, when you are giving some idea in that business place or wherever, how you were responding. If your idea was not good enough, how were you respond? Did people say mean things, that this is what a dumb idea you have given, or they were saying, well, yes, this is a good way to think about it, please keep on thinking? What happened after that? And when you gave some ideas, that is part of culture. When you fail in something, what are some of the things were said? A while ago I was talking about hope. So giving hope or not giving hope, that is also part of culture in some way, because yes, leaders will try to give hope across, but uh, so you have to maybe have to think about these definitions and stuff. Read in your own time. Assumptions, culture is assumptions, values, orientation to life, belief systems, what people believe in, and eventually it is going to influence the behavior of people. That is what it is. These are some things from MGMT 2008, organizational behavior. You must have seen these type of in a formal interaction, how they behave in informal direction. Some examples are, but you can run a Google search on this, and this is Hofstede. Google search for Hofstede, and know about this. Um, Basic assumptions, value. This is what Sachin is talking about. Uh, Different forms of culture, for example, formal, uh, informal, how people behave in an organization when there is a formal occasion, and how people behave in that same organization when they meet informally. So maybe when they are meeting formal, they might not hug each other, but when they are meeting informally for some drinks or catch up, they might hug each other, and maybe it's different. Yeah, so even within an organization, the takeaway point is that the culture can be different based on different settings. And maybe you can also tell about, let me link it with something I was saying earlier, that maybe you can by looking at how people are interacting in a culture of organization, you can maybe see who, like when people have likability, how they are engaging with them, and when it is just business, how they are engaging with them. Yeah, these are interesting things to think about. Some of the characteristics, expected behaviors, of course, and it all of this influences the relationship of employees. You can link it with the other things which you were saying a while ago. It impacts the individual, it impacts their performance, the culture. Uh, because every now and then we are going to do something which is kind of like a failed attempt, or we might not have submitted some document to the best of the expectations, and how we are treated after that. How do we get feedback? For example, feedback is an important part of leaders. Leaders should give feedback to their workers so that they can improve themselves. Yeah. So when feedback is given, what happens to their motivation is improved, or what are the things are they? Words are quite powerful. You can say the same thing, but by changing the words, everything change. So these are something you might want to think about. I like this diagram, this concept of iceberg. As you guys know, that iceberg, some things are visible and many of the things are not visible. So this box here is showing what is not visible, like under the water, iceberg, and these things, few things you can see, just like in iceberg. You can see few things, a small ice portion may be on the top, and because you can't see under the water, you might think that it is something small, but maybe it is going all the way down in the sea or whatever. Iceberg, this is a good thing for change management, that change things, the things which will impact change in terms of culture. You might see very few on the top, but there are many things which are hidden. That is what it means. For example, this one, formal policies. So maybe the formal policy is that promote and reward persons for their output. Maybe that is the formal policy. But what is the informal policy, or the norm? Maybe they are promoting and rewarding based on friendship and needs. Who like who is friends with whom, that type of thing. So these things can happen in the organization setting. Other things, very obvious, vision, mission. You can think about these things in your own time. This one is interesting. Sachin's outline 6 ways in which culture evolves. So there can be some general evolution in which organization naturally adapts to that environment. It is generally it is happening. No one really planned it or guided. And then there can be some specific evolution in terms of the manager wants something specific to evolve or change in the culture, and then they will be looking at that. There can be some guided evolution where leaders or top managers are leading or guiding the teams that this is how you should do it. And over a period of time, of course, all of these changes are going to happen. But then I should not say that some changes can happen overnight also, because sometimes some bad thing happen in someone's life, and they just suddenly change. Some big thing, big event happens, someone's death, or a big loss in the factory, or something drastic. May that never happen with any one of us, but you would see around, if you are looking, you will find that something big happened in someone's life, and then they changed for good or for bad. That that situation or that event changed them. It was so big, at emotional level, at physical level, or whatever. It just changed them. But generally, it is good that change happens in maybe in over a period of time. But then again, I should not say which change is good or not good. It all depends on the circumstances, situation. So if whatever the situation demands, if the change is fulfilling that situation, then I think that that should be fine. So you should think about these things, planned and manage change. This is interesting. 6 point. Uh, a, a partial or total cultural destruction through new leadership that eliminate the carriers or the of the former culture. This happens sometimes. Yeah. So that is you would incorporate Jamaica also. They bring in from outside someone new, some a new face, and they come and they have their own way of doing things, and then they just do that. But then it can have some downfall on in terms of culture. Like the people might think why people who are deserving in the organization, they might feel that why they were not picked up uh, for this new leadership role, why someone from, and that can cause some type of resentment and all of those things. Is the test of the new leadership. The workers who have been working in the organization maybe for 10 years, 20 years, they have their own way of doing things, and now the new leader comes and they want to change something or whatever. Yeah, so these are some things which which you should think about. Uh, and don't worry if you think that I am going a little fast, because as I mentioned in this 10th of November, yesterday's posting, when you will see, you are going to find in detail what is in the chapter. And of course, please read the chapter 7 cultural change also. So for example, this one is discussing how to make cultural change easy. So you watch this to maybe reflect on that, and then there are some guidelines on how to ensure successful cultural change, and maybe this is what they are talking about here, guidelines for achieving cultural change. For example, it's simple, it's nothing hard about it in terms of reading. Only thing hard is in terms of implementation of change. When you read it, you think that, oh, this is very easy and everything, but when you are implementing change, then you realize that uh, what is happening. But of course, you can take some measures which can make your journey easier. For example, you can look at this one, build on the old. See how in the organization, what is the, yes, I was saying, think, build on the old, like see how people were doing the things in the past, and don't try to change everything. Build on the old. So maybe there are 7 steps how we are doing it in the old days. You don't have to change all 7 right away. You take your time, step by step. Maybe you want to change them. That depends on your objective. If it is something which needs to be done right away and in a bigger scale, then you have to do it. Then there is no option. But it's easier to build on the old because you have 7 steps earlier. It's all right, you can keep 5 steps as they were done in the old days, but these 2 new steps we are incorporating. And as you are incorporating new steps, you are giving them skills which can help them to make those changes or be benefit to the organization and so on. You can you can you can you can do that. On the other hand, you can let go people who are not conforming to the new change and hire new people who are ready for that type of new situation or new change. So there are different different techniques you can use for that. It's going to come people when people say, oh, this person don't know what they are doing and I don't like it and I don't like them and all of this thing, and they find which you will, if you are not comfortable and you cannot, it can be difficult. But then again, this is in, they are not good enough, or they are not good, or they are not the, their morale is going to go down. So same is for when a leader is going to go in one department and he is going to, it is not just word. The leader will not be, the workers are bad things to the leader. It their, body, how they at him as he's going, or the person, the leader will realize that he's not well. It is going to impact. So many things need to be thought about in this. I like this line: cultural understanding is desirable for all of us to lead. Cultural understanding is desirable for all of us, but it is essential to leaders if they are, well, I definitely agree, lead, but it is not just desirable for all of us. It is good for all of us if we can develop some type of cultural understanding. We are in. If the more you, the more you know that how things are done in an environment, the better. If I were asked, maybe I would not say just desirable. I would say that is more than desirable. Yes, I was saying this guy is ex Sachin, so I'm not disputing him, but I would say that maybe cultural understanding is more than just desirable for all of us, and the rest of part is, I'm okay with that. What I was trying to say essentially is that as you are reading, the definitions or how these top experts have explained themselves in explained themselves uh, how or what they think about change. What I'm trying to say that don't just take their word as final word, because uh, they are talking from their understanding. So I encourage that all of us, have developed try to develop our own understanding. What they have said is right. We can read them, but then we should reflect on it, and then uh, we should try to develop our own understanding. Uh, the role of teams in change, uh, and so on. Yeah. So I think that is it for today's session. Thank you very much.